Recently, Elon Musk appeared at the DealBook Summit hosted by the New York Times. It was here where he went off on advertisers that were boycotting advertising on X because of a post Musk made that was criticized as anti-Semitic.
Don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
First, he didn't care what people thought about him, nor did he care about the companies who chose not to advertise on the social media platform. To that end, he told them to go F themselves.
Go yourself. Go yourself.
He also aimed Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, one of the companies that happened to be part of the boycott.
Hey Bob, if you're in the audience. That's how I feel. Don't advertise.
That's one thing he told Iger, who probably wasn't in his audience but attended the same event that Musk did. The video will cover the rivalry between the two big-name CEOs. How did this all come about? And where is this saga today? Buckle up, because we're about to go for a ride. Let's get started. We should at least share a bit of backstory to discuss how this rivalry between Elon Musk and Bob Iger began. Musk purchased Twitter in 2022 and has since rebranded it to X. He has changed where many people claimed it promoted a climate of hate speech, conspiracy theories, and misinformation. He even lifted the ban on several prominent figures, including former President Donald Trump, InfoWars' Alex Jones, and internet content creator Andrew Tate, to name a few. Critics have long accused Musk of creating a toxic environment on the platform. Among some of their notable charges against him include the following: propping up conspiracy theories such as Pizzagate, even taking shots at the press, even going after organizations such as the Anti-Defamation League or the ADL. Needless to say, Musk believes that the censorship on internet platforms may have gone too far, thus the purchase of Twitter he thought was needed. However, it wasn't until mid-November 2023 that he responded to a post on X that appeared to be anti-Semitic. This is where all the trouble began for Elon. It was bad enough for the company that the valuation plummeted from $44 billion to $19 billion in the course of a single year.
You will remember that was a $44 billion acquisition at the end of 2022. We're now looking at a company that at least Fidelity believes is valued closer to $12.5, $13 billion.
So this controversial post he made generated backlash for him. As such, he apologized for it.
It might be literally the worst and dumbest post that I've ever done.
He would travel to Israel at some point, a trip that appeared to be scheduled before this all happened. Musk stated that the trip to Israel was not an apology tour.
The trip to Israel is independent of it wasn't some apology tour. I want to be clear.
In November of 2023, Musk appeared at the DealBook Summit in New York, where Andrew Ross Sorkin interviewed him. Here, Musk strongly expressed his opinion on what people thought about him. For example, he said he didn't care who didn't like him. Soon he turned his attention to the advertisers that boycotted the platform, repeatedly telling them those three words: GFY.
Go yourself.
He also singled out Bob Iger in the case the latter happened to be in the audience. He also stated that if business goes under, the ones who advertise the boycott may be the ones to blame.
Actually, what this advertising boycott is going to do, it's going to kill the company. And the whole world will know that those advertisers killed the company, and we will document it in great detail.
The interview lasted over an hour and a half, during which Musk talked about everything from his business accomplishments, the Cybertruck, and whether or not he would vote for President Joe Biden in the upcoming election, assuming it came down to a rematch between Biden and Trump. To which Musk replied that he would not vote for the president, but stopped short of saying that he'd vote for Trump.
I would not vote for Biden.
You'd vote for Trump.
I'm not saying I'd vote for Trump, but I mean...
Which he says that his non-endorsement of Biden was clearly not an endorsement of the 45th president of the United States. Of course, critics of Elon Musk were probably not surprised by that announcement. Nevertheless, Elon received praise and criticism from the public after his appearance at the DealBook Summit. Many says that he was raw and honest, while others said he went on an unhinged tirade. You may be the judge of what you perceive him as, though. The wealthiest man in the world decided to set his sights on the CEO of Disney Company, who had been the target of a lot of prominent figures, including the Florida governor and Republican president candidate Ron DeSantis, who incidentally announced his candidacy for the highest office in an exclusive event on X hosted by Elon Musk back in May. Musk has not officially announced his endorsement for the President of the United States despite this, and it may not be one of his top priorities at the moment, and perhaps for a few reasons. Iger appeared at this same summit later on. There seems to be no mention of what Musk said earlier, however he did criticize what he believes that his partners and the creative team prioritize messaging over telling stories, making Disney's movies even more special. Iger said that the creators lost sight of the #1 objective, entertainment. He added that Disney films should never be about the messages. When we plan on stepping down at some point in 2024, Iger stated that he will stay on through at least 2026, with one of his main objectives being that his company would create better films while orchestrating a turnaround for the company that has been helmed on 2 separate occasions. Currently, the rivalry between Musk and Iger still continues. Recently, Musk said on X that the CEO should be fired and that Walt Disney is turning in his grave over what he believes Iger did to the company. But that didn't stop there. Recently, Tesla removed the Disney Plus app from some of their vehicles as part of the ongoing rivalry. Needless to say, this feud may go on for as long as possible. As for the response, Iger had been known to defend his company from various attacks. Rather than take an aggressive approach, he was firm and ensured that Disney had a right to speak out on politics when he believed it made business sense. But here's the twist. Iger stated that he had a lot of respect for Musk. He also acknowledged that the latter was larger than life in many respects, and his name is tied to several companies. However, he said that by taking a particular position publicly, he believes that association between Disney and X was not positive. Thus, the decision was made to pull advertising on the platform. Iger reiterated that Disney still uses X as a way to communicate with its audience. By the sounds of it, he doesn't want to get into it with Elon Musk because he respects him. So perhaps it would be a good idea for the man behind Tesla, SpaceX, and X, among other companies, to sit down and discuss things. At this point, Musk probably won't be up for such a discussion, but you have to give Iger his due for not being confrontational. He handled the thing calmly and professionally, perhaps like a regular CEO of a well-known company typically does. So it's clear that Iger isn't going anywhere anytime soon. He'll remain the CEO of Disney for as long as possible. And likewise, Musk will remain the owner of X and all his other companies for as long as he feels is possible. As we approach 2024, what happens remains to be seen. Will Musk continue to focus his attack on Iger, or will he turn his attention to the CEOs of other companies that boycotted advertising on X, such as Tim Cook of Apple? It's hard to predict the future for sure. Meanwhile, Iger continues to defend his company amid pushback from various adversaries. He stated that Disney is not trying to drive an agenda, even though he voices the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion. The future of the 2 companies may still remain strong, regardless of how long Musk chooses to drag this feud out. Iger will still have to face criticism from Musk, DeSantis, and others, but he still remains firm and continues to make sure that Disney builds itself back up after the dismissal of his predecessor, Bob Iger. That will do it for this video. We hope you've been able to glimpse the battle between Elon Musk and Bob Iger. It may not seem as intense and as climatic as people want it to be, but needless to say, it's a story of 2 CEOs with different ideas and approaches. One is making sure that free speech is a priority on the platform he owns, while the other focuses on turning a company around and ensuring it stays that way when he leaves. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, subscribe to our channel, and finally click the bell icon so you get new videos the second we upload them. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.